Okay, what we like to do is we like to go ahead and start giving you some training on ProPresenter. Uh, this training here is to give the basic understanding of how to use ProPresenter for anybody that wants to do the particular program. It doesn't matter who you are, so that you can step in and immediately start working with the ProPresenter for the church. It's a software that we use at Christ Fellowship, but you can use it at any church. All you need is a projector, a computer, a laptop, preferably. And although if you already logged in, if you already set up in at your you have a facility that belongs to yourself, you can get a desktop, which is a little bit more stable and usually a little bit quicker. If you get a desktop with a printer, the more power you have on a desktop, the more power you have on a laptop, the better it would be for your presentation. So if you have a desktop, if you're in an environment where you have already a church facility already set up and you want to do this, it's even better. We are mobiles, and so we have to use a laptop. Now, I have found that, of course, the Macintosh is a little bit better, a lot more responsive, a lot quicker, and you don't have any problem with it locking up on you or moving slow. So if you can go Mac, that would be great, but that's $1,000 difference between a Mac and a regular Windows desktop. You do have a Windows laptop and Windows desktop. Windows desktop, of course, is better. But once again, with both of those, you really need a lot of memory for it to move as quick as you would like it to move and do what you want it to do. You really need a lot of memory and a lot of space. More importantly, memory. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna get cranked up with this and give you an idea of how that it should work. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what it takes to get the program started. And one of the things you have to do to get the program started is you have to go and you have to start the program. Now, you'll see ProPresenter 5 is one we use now, and you'll see that this is the icon for that. Click on that icon. Now, normally it takes a little while for that bad boy to crank up. When the program comes up, it comes up and you've got different windows. These are different control windows that you use. This is a very important window here, because this window here is a window that is used to show you what is being displayed out on the thing. Now you come up here, this is the output. You click on this output, and let's say you want to work on something, but you don't want other people to see you working on it. Well, this button over here becomes very important, because this is the on and off switch for the output. If you have this up here where it says off, up here in the top right, that's saying that your output is off. So this output screen here, you'll see things here, but the people won't see it out on whatever you're sending it. Whether you got a projector out there, you have a TV monitor, whatever you have hooked up to it, they won't see what you're doing. So now one of the things you have to make sure you do is you make sure that your output screen is black. That's very, very important. So whatever you're using, whether it be a projector, whether it be a TV screen, a monitor, whatever, make sure that that TV screen and the monitor is black, because when you push off on this output, then whatever your background screen is, like for an example, if you have like mine, I have this background screen for my computer screen. If that was on my output screen, then whenever I went in and I turn this off, then they would see that. Now, you know, that's a nice picture. Everyone loves that picture. I kind of like that picture. But the problem is people don't want to see that picture in the middle of praise and worship, or in the middle of a sermon, or middle of something else. So while I'm prepping and get ready for the next event or next thing, the last thing I want to do is pop it up. So that's why you got to make sure that you got to go to your, however you do it, and on a Mac, we would go to our, we would go to, on a Mac, we go to displays. And then you'll have your displays, and you'll pick whatever your display is to be for your output monitor. Make sure that that display is blank, okay? But that's just one of the things you want to make sure happens, and that's how you can make sure that when you're working, it works like you want it to work, and you don't get yourself embarrassed, because embarrassment can come fairly easy, fairly quick. Okay, but now let's get back to the screen. Okay, so very important. So whatever you see here, like now, when I come down here, and that would normally be on the display. Now, what happens if you look up here and you see everything is going great and you're like, wow, that's a pretty little thing, it's going really nice, I know they're enjoying it, and then you look over to your output screen and there's nothing there, it's black. Oh my goodness. Well, the problem is, you look right up here and you see off. That's telling you that your display is off. So what you're seeing here, they don't see out there. So all you got to do is come over here, click on off, and then you look out there and bang, there it is. Oops, there it is. It's up there, the display that you want them to see is there, and you're good. So everything you see here should be out there. So the advantage of that is you don't have to stand, this does not have to be, you don't have to look at the, you don't have to see the display to know what's being displayed. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to see it. So you don't have to be sitting in a place where you have to see the display, because whatever you're displaying is going to be right here on top. Now down here is going to be your library. And this is where you're going to import your songs that you're going to be using, and also other things you put in your library. But let's say mostly you're going to say your songs is going to be here. When you get ready to do your songs, so you click on here and you can once you click on here, it goes over here in your output area. Okay, and once I click here, then it automatically goes up on my display. So here's how I go and whatever I click. Now, up here you can see where you have clear all, slides, clear the slides, clear the background, clear your logo or show your logo. Now, this song, these words don't go very well with that background, does it? Because I'm sitting there trying to sing, nice pretty background, but the problem is I can't read it. Now a lot of times the quickest way to do that is the background is wrong, just go up here and clear your background, and now you got black is ready. People can read that. A lot of times that's what you're going to use, is that kind of background. But you got to be very, very careful what kind of background you use so that your background fits your song. So you got to know what background will go with the song, will fit the song. Now this background here is a very good background. It's dark in the background, but it does show some kind of photo in the background, and that's very, very important. It's good sometimes for someone to have something versus just a regular old black screen. That's kind of, you know, sort of boring, you know. And the idea that you have, it's one of those things that's great. This is great if that's what you have. If this is what you have, go with it. Black background is great, but it just looks a little bit more enticing to have something like that in the background. But the problem is, and you have two ways you can fix this. Let's just say we did have this problem, and I'm going to jump through some things real quick. But if you had this problem and you want to fix it, you could go up here to editor right here. You click on editor and you see how this changed? That means that now I can change where that song is sitting at. So I can take that song and put it up in the top right hand corner like this, and then I say show, and wham, now it is away from the crosses, high enough for everybody to eat every word, and everything is good, but at the same time, I can still keep my background. Now, if I really like that, I can say apply to all. And once I clear it. And then I can say apply to all. It should have done it to all of them, but it didn't. You know something? I think it does. What it does is it applies it doesn't necessarily apply how you have everything set up. It just applies the font, the size, and everything else. That applies to all. So I don't think it applies to the format applies to all. No, it's just the words and the type. So if we took this down to 25, okay, and then we said apply to all, click on this, and then we said apply to all, everybody, see over here, everybody went down to 25, which is a little bit small. So we'll go back up here and we'll say, nah, let's make everybody back to 48. And then now we apply, click on it again, and apply to all. Everybody, see back over here, everybody's back, all the slides are back up to 48. Now you can quickly glance real quick and make sure that all of the slides fit within the monitoring area. Okay, now as we're doing all this, this is not being seen by people who are watching the monitor or the projector. This is all you're doing in the background. Now here's the problem. This works flawlessly in the Mac. You will not get this kind of response with a Windows machine that does not have a lot of memory. Okay, so you are not going to be able to do it like this with Windows. It's just not going to be true. When you click on one thing on Windows, and you know, I click on this, click here, and start moving. You do this with Windows, you'll click, and you have to stand there for a second before it sees it, and then you have to move it, and it may not move. So you have to wait for a second till you see it move, and then you can move it in the move. Windows is not as responsive as the Mac. Just the nature of the business. Okay, so let's get back to where we were with, and then once you do this, it's saved. All you gotta do is close it, and you're back to your display. Okay. Now, at the same time as I'm doing this, I go to up to editor. I click on here and listen to them singing, and they may end up here. I can go to show, and it automatically will show wherever I'm at. So a lot of times I might be fixing it right while they're singing. I may be over here fixing it, and right while they're singing, and I'm listening to them, and I'm saying, and I'm moving, and I'm doing it. I hear them say, "Oh, the next verse." I come back to the next verse. You got to remember what the next verse is, and show that next verse, and then I keep right on going. But a lot of times I just run through here real quick and fix it real quick while they're still in that same verse. I'm still gonna go up here real quickly, fix it as fast as I can, and still. But you got to pay attention to what they're singing. You got to remember, they was on 3. They may go to 4. Go to 4. Right click. Go show 4. Okay, we're at 4. 4's there. Then we got to go back down here while they're still singing. You got to be paying attention. You got to listen to what they're saying. Yada da 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 da. Once you got everything done, bam, you back in here, and then you can air to the next one. Bam, they crucified my Savior. What is this? What is this song? He rose, he rose, he rose from the dead. He rose from the dead. He rose. I don't know that one as well. But anyway, now you see over here the displays have already been set up and ready to go. And it's saved. Okay. Now a lot of times you go up here, you go file, save as, save all, and everything stays the way you're working on it. Now, let's get back to, we showed you that real quick, and that's using the editor, and we talked about this is the display area, and this is the song and the library of the stuff. Now the other thing that you're going to use quite a bit is called the playlist. Okay, the playlist is very important. For me, this is what you go through when you want to go through your planning phase. You go through the phase where you want to make sure that you have your stuff planned. And this is going to be, we're going to do this side, and then we'll take a break. Okay, so the playlist is important because this is where you schedule what you're going to show that day, that particular day. As you see here, I have a lot of completed, and the way I do it is for 2014, which reminds me I need to go ahead and put 2014 up. It's time for new. So I'll go ahead and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a group folder, new group folder. And that new group folder, which went into 2014, I want to make that 215 instead of 2015 now. Hit enter. So we just renamed it, and I want to move that bad boy over so that it's not under 2014. Now we got 2015. So now what I'll do is, and then I'll take 2014 and put that in the past year's folder. That's to keep things clean. When you start working with stuff like this, you'll learn that you got to keep it clean. There's so many things that you can do, that you want to just keep it clean so that you know, when you start working with this stuff, when people start asking you to do something, and you're right there in front of everybody, and they're waiting to go, if you don't have a clean way to get started, if you don't have a procedure where you just bam, 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 people see it, and it takes away from whatever the service. The disadvantage of the service is, of you being the service is, everything that is planned, some little small part's going to go wrong. You got to have this thing so well organized, so when it goes wrong, you can say, okay, I know how to fix that real quick. You got to be able to run through it real quick and get to where you want to go. Okay, but anyway, so you keep this real clean. So when I make a new playlist, I'm going to click on the playlist here, and I'm going to make a new playlist. So I'm going to come down here again, and I'm going to click down here on the little asterisk, and I'm going to make a new playlist. inside of 2015. Bam, it's going to 2015. What I do is to keep everything I do starts with my pictures, all that stuff. It starts with the date, the year, the month, the day, and what it's for. Okay, that's once again keeping it clean. So I know what I can glance up here and tell you that on this particular thing was done on March the 3rd, 2013 on Sunday. This was the Daughters of the King. This was the thing we did for the Daughters of the King. I can go down here and do the same thing. And here's on 2011. It was, now this one I was doing a little bit different, same basic thing, but I did it was a Sunday, October the 16th, 2011. So 2011 I was kind of doing a little bit different. I don't know why I did it different that way, but that's how I did it 2011. And 2012, I probably went to 2012. But anyway, you can go and you can click on that, and that's what we did on that day. But I took it from the playlist, because I think this is when it crashed. But anyway, see, these are the songs that we did on 2012, January the 1st, that Sunday. That's the songs we sang. Okay, that's what we did. So that keeps you a little history there. So that's the past years, and so the new playlist. Let's say we're gonna go. He Wanted It All, and God Is My Everything, and God Blocked It, and God's Got a Blessing. Okay, so these are the songs that they're going to be singing. Okay, so the director or choir director or the choir member or somebody comes to me and say, they give me a piece of paper and say, here's the songs we're singing today. And I say, okay. And hopefully there's songs that we've already sang. There's always 2 or 3 that are not. Hopefully these are songs that we sang. So I'll go and I will put them in order, and these orders we're going to sing. Now, if this is it, we good. But normally, no matter what they do, you want them to come and sing and practice, because you want to make sure that the song that they're singing today is the same song that you have. Also, you want to look and see how on this particular song, it takes up the whole screen. So that background may not be the best background. I might want to take a look at maybe this background. It takes a little bit away, but it's or I gotta come up with a blank background. The one that I have, I use a lot for something like that, is something like that. With the little stars over there on top of love of him, but it's still good enough for people to read. There's a voice that cries out in the silence, so it's still good enough for people to read and understand it. But anyway, so as part 1, we talked about the display that is controlled up here to the output to the screen, on and off, and we talked about the library, and that's where we import the songs in, whether it be songs, PowerPoint presentations, the playlist side, and how we have the continuous music or continue. Now, this is contiguous is for over here. So if we click on this, then these are kind of separate. It only shows one song at a time. Okay, you click on the song, and the song shows up over here. Contiguous is, if you have that, then that means the order that the songs are right in order over here. So all the songs are in order over here. Now we can also, let me show you one last thing. We can turn off the video image, which is down here, and now we have a better see of that. And we can get rid of audio on the side over there and editor. So these 3 buttons up here, so you'll know, are the different cues or the different I don't know a better word, cues or different locations that things are. So if I want to do video and imaging, I click on this, and that shows this video image down here, and I can bring it up so I can see more of them. These are the things, these are the background images that will run behind. Now these is the video here. Okay, if I can do the video of my daughter in gymnastics, I go through it, I can get rid of the slide that's in front of it. And then now you see the video. So if someone gives me an MP4 or a video that I can take in my computer, whatever kind of computer I have, then I can use that, and as you see for the video. You can pause that video and blah, 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 blah. But that video can go along behind the slide. If we have a slide we want to put up there, we can put the slide on top of that video, and that video will run right in the background. These are the videos that you have, or instead of a video, it can just be a picture that we put in the back of it. Okay, and so it can't find that picture. This is a video, so you got to be careful sometimes of what you put out there, because once you click it, it's going. It's got noise. People say, "Oh, what's going on? Where did that come from?" Be careful what you click on, because even though you got that off, your audio is still going through your computer. So your computer is still playing this audio, even though you like, "Oh, what I do?" Come up here, hit pause, bam, get out of that quick. First thing you do is hit pause. And the first thing I would do, hit pause. The second thing I do is close it up, turn it off. Black screen, pause. Everybody smile. Keep on doing what y'all doing out there. Let me do what I do. I got a habit of just sitting. Let me do what I do. Like I didn't know that just went over there, and it was wrong. What y'all looking at me for? Like I don't know this. So don't react. The first thing I'll tell you if you're doing something like this is don't react to the people. You know what you're doing. You are the expert. Don't react to them. Also get people in the habit of not running to you when there's a problem. You know there's a problem. You're in control. You're running this thing. You know when there's an issue. Tell people, don't come running to me. Don't turn around looking at me. I know I just messed up. I know that song just went out there and ain't supposed to be out there. I can hear. Now, if you're in a place where you can't hear or you can't see something, then okay, you want somebody to let you know. Let them text you real quick. But them running to you is only going to bring more confusion to what you're doing. Tell them back off. I got this. A lot of times I don't even look up. When something goes wrong, I don't look up. I stay focused on what I need to do to fix it. Me listening to you is not going to teach me how to fix it. I know this, you don't. Okay? Now, if somebody knows it better than I do, then they come over and they do know how to fix it quicker than I am. I get that. But usually where I am, very few people know it better than I know. So leave me alone. Let me figure it out. Okay? So that's into part 1. We'll move on to part 2 after we take a look at this and see how well it came out. Okay? Alrighty then.